Let's give it
Okay.
this takes about 4 or 5 seconds before it's actually doing shit. Wheat and beefy butter, boys. So I'm seeing. All right, there we go. I don't know why I'm hearing double and triple of myself. Okay, there we go. There we go. Ah, all right. What the fuck's up, everyone? What is going on? We have the Illuminated Ape here today for the SDC live stream thingy. Tits. You get it. You get it. We're going to go over some Wall Street Silver bullshit, and then we're going to go over some updates that we have to the Silver Degen Club. So, what is up, IA?
Oh, I mean, I'm just excited here. We have some really interesting memory hole topics to cover tonight that was just, fell through the cracks, but really important to kind of carry the narrative forward of Wall Street Silver, especially since they won't die. So
Yeah,
I'm
they
excited to be here.
they seem to be hanging around. Seem to be hanging around like nothing fucking happened a month ago. So very, very, very interesting, I would say.
Jim's still getting away with throwing the fruit bowls. It has not been brought to justice yet.
That is true. That is true. For people that are listening live and for people in the Discord or the Reddit, you can submit questions if you want. This was kind of like a quick one that was released. We didn't have a ton of time to give everyone a ton of heads up on it, but we got
Right.
AG. AG is going to be manning the question, the phone lines. Going to be manning the
Basically.
phone lines. And if you guys have questions, throw them down there. He will read them to us, and we'll get to them as we're going through this. So we'll probably make this two parts regardless, just so that the
There's a
next
lot to
part.
cover.
Yeah, there's a lot to cover, and I want to make sure people can get some questions in next and stuff. But if we didn't do it now, this Tuesday night live show, then we weren't going to do it. So it had to be done today, guys. It had to be done today. So, what are we looking at, IA? What are we doing?
Well, I mean, in this first screen that I see, you have pulled up is the donor protection, the GoFundMe giving guarantee. And this is ultimately what's in my mind right now is this still valid? Is this still something that those that gave to Wall Street Silver and maybe feel a bit miffed, especially, just if you're not miffed already, you will be by the time we're done tonight, I think. And whether if this is still valid, why not maybe report Wall Street Silver? Let's see if we can bring justice upon them because they have yet to come out with the ledger. I've yet to see a ledger.
What?
And yeah, I know it boggles my mind because they came out with not to give too many secrets away of this presentation, but they came out with two GoFundMe account campaigns, and both of them promised complete transparency. And what did we get? I think it can be summed up in a single word: gaslighting.
No, never. I don't want to believe it, and I won't.
All right, well, I have a lot to prove then tonight, and maybe by the end of it, we'll see what GoFundMe can do. But for right now, I think we got to first load up the first Silver Squeeze uh, GoFundMe campaign. Let's discuss that language real quick. GMM, can you throw that up on the screen? You can think you got to go into the document I sent you and then
Oh, you.
click on
Oh,
the
okay.
link.
That. Oh, okay. This one. Yeah.
Yes.
The languages. Languages. Okay.
And the language here is basically the same, except for a caveat. Got again, scroll down. Whoop, where'd it go?
Oh,
Technical difficulties.
hold on. I'm resizing it just a tad, just so we could.
Just tap.
Yep.
Okay, make it legible for everyone.
Okay. Here's the README part. Now, how big is that for you? Is that too small?
I don't see anything. I only see the document thing I sent you.
Oh. Interesting. Okay.
There we go. All right. So if you zoom in here for everyone, this is basically the first Silver Squeeze uh, GoFundMe campaign. And we want to go all the way down. We're going to see number one. Let's see the number one point here that Ivan made.
All
And
right.
mind you, this raised, it says 118,000. This is roughly around 98, almost 100, about 100,000 yeah, USD. So quite a big chunk of change there. And they had another one for I think it raised 28,000 Canadian dollars, and they definitely ranked in probably 112,000 from this. So keep that in mind.
Oh yeah,
But we see
there's
here
some
in
money raised.
point
Yeah.
one, which is very strange to me. Do you want to read that out to us, Stephen?
Oh yeah, we will be partnering with Chris Marcus from Arcadia Economics to ensure funds will be sent to advertising campaigns for raising awareness for Silver Squeeze, and we'll be posting pictures on Reddit community Wall Street Silver.
All right. So first and foremost, has anyone seen Chris Marcus with a ledger?
I can tell by firsthand account that they never gave Chris Marcus a ledger. They basically what would you call it? Ghosted, ghosted him on that right off the bat.
Right. I think he was initially involved in the idea and maybe the setting up of it from behind the scenes, but Ivan sort of went into like I said, a gaslight to say that he was going to be the one in charge, would you say?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it almost looks like they were trying to like divert any kind of blame from Ivan's and Jim's side to Chris,
How it's wrong.
but I mean, that's what it looks
Almost
like to
also
me.
using almost like using Chris Marcus's reputation in order to give himself trust and accountability, would you say?
Yeah, and I mean, Chris is the kind of guy. I mean, he's a really like compassionate person and has a lot of empathy for the people in the community. So, I mean, any kind of project like this, he would try to help people with it. He helped me in the beginning, to promote me and to give me encouragement to keep making videos and stuff. So he's a really, I would say, the most ethical guy in this space. So I could see people trying to take advantage of that.
Yeah, I've heard the same kind of thing from you in the background about Chris. I've seen no evidence to suggest throughout the investigation into this that suggested Chris had any connection to this, other than like I just said a little bit ago, like maybe saying it up, maybe suggesting it. But beyond that, there should be no connection to Chris, and it's definitely wrong for him to have been put in this position. Um, I will tell everyone that it was taken out of the second GoFundMe language. It's just one of those small little changes, that they made to the language. So, uh, they even knew it was wrong in the end and didn't want to continue it.
Well,
Uh,
yeah, Chris even I guess he had a one of his own GoFundMe's. I think it was like a week or two ago, and that GoFundMe did wasn't able to get the results that they liked, and they actually re gave back refunds to everyone. I
oh,
I
wow.
do not see Ivan and Jim doing any kind of refund thing ever in the future.
No, I don't think that they would do it on their own volition at all. I think Jim would more likely try to run to a foreign non-expediting out country or extradition country um, because he's probably in the wrong. I think we all know James Morrison's background at this point. Uh, He's a bit of a terrorist, and he had to have a stint in jail for that terroristic behavior. Um, that was out, and I don't know the law and repetitive cases like this, but it's probably not good.
It's gonna be interesting. I'll say that. Uh, Disappearing
But
is interesting in these scenarios.
I mean, if I was gonna put my feet in his mold-ridden shoes, I would probably do the same thing.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
But so if we move down, again, I want to just go through some more language of this because it's kind of ridiculous. Number two, we can sort of kind of skim through. Yes, they'll be working with these XYZ companies that some of them turned out to be, some of them didn't turn out to be. Like, for an example, Facebook, there was some posts on that was made by Ivan's accounts on Reddit that suggested that at some point Facebook just stopped and made their account inactive, so they just stopped advertising there. But there was been no like sort of follow up that I could find with that. Um, so I can't tell the whole validity of all these people. Lamar, I think Lamar was one of the people that, at the height of this drama, Ivan was promising us that he was going to go email Lamar and find, and get those receipts if I was a business and I had to do my taxes uh, and it was 2 years later, and I was trying to look for receipts, that's just doesn't make any sense to me. Businesses have to keep these things for at least 7 years. So he should have already had it to file his taxes. But, I'm getting a little bit sidetracked here because what I want to point out is the sort of weird inclusion of the word or words legal fees, you know, as a addition to all these things we're doing, but we never mentioned in any other conversation before that we're seeking out this money for legal fees. A little bit odd, just a little bit odd, right?
That is odd. That is odd, I would say.
S- So that just begs a couple of questions. What would a grass grassroots movement leader need to pursue in legal fees, right? Well, it turns out hindsight is 2 years later. We already know all these answers. I'm sure somebody was looking into this at the time. It probably wouldn't be apparent, but we know now that incorporated Wall Street Silver, and that
Interesting.
costs legal monies. But there's also another concern there where let's not get off too far ahead. Let's go back to that document DMM and let's click on trademark. Let's actually take a look at what Ivan did. Scroll down second page under the
Yep,
GoFundMe up there.
right here. Let me get into that. Now remember, guys, we're not lawyers. We're not. This is all just public information. This is what the community's brought
Public.
in, and every single thing on here is public. We're not making allegations of anything. We're just stating the
We're just
facts and asking
showing
questions about why this is happening and why what has.
we hold no special privileges. Anybody could go to this website. This website is tmsearch.uspto.gov. If you're an American, your taxpayer money pays for this. So this anybody can access it. All right. I think you're too far ahead, DMM. Let's go back to that search.
Oh yeah, I took it out of the window. Okay. Yeah, I took
There
it
you
out
go.
of the
There you
window.
go. All right. So we're gonna search Wall Street Silver space between each word and hit submit query.
Oh,
Yep.
let me refresh it. Oh, here we go.
Basic.
Huh.
That's a little weird. I'd go back to the original page, refresh that page, and then go.
All right, let me refresh it a few times. Okay. All right, there we go. This will do it right there. All
Might
right.
take everybody a second there. Perfect. So we want to click on that first option there,
I'm going to extend it out
Wall
so
Street
everyone can see it
Silver.
more. Yep, the first one right here. Click on that. All right.
There we go. So look down where it says the date in which the pirating date was, and we see that just about less than a month after. the Wall Street Silver GoFundMe campaign was active. We see a filing date of basically March.
Yeah, we got a priority
I
date and a filing date.
so the priority date is basically when they submitted the thing, and the filing is when they accepted it. The trademark office of the government.
Yep.
Now I want you to click on the TS what is it called?
TSDR?
Yeah, yeah, up there. That's basically takes us to the portal in which we can see all the public available documents uh, that are available to us to take a look and see how terrible of a job they did at actually opening up this business. Uh, okay, so we want to go on, click that folder, I believe, for
Documents?
documents at the top. Yep. And we want to take a look at, let's see, we I guess we can go with the specimen. We'll show that one off first. Now, the specimen here is what they used as they cited for this is our trademark. This is our first use of the logo or the trademark name, Wall Street Silver. And this is basically what they're showing the government as their proof of we're the original people that made this. It's our entitlement to get this trademark. And what's very interesting here is that Ivan chose to trademark this in the United States first. That's where the trademark went active first, which is a no-no. If you're from a country that's other than the United States, you trademark it in your host country first, and then you basically branch off into other places in which you want that trademark to effectively be enforced in. So, United States, if your market's there, or yeah, wherever else. Um, but they use this particular Etsy store as their side of proof, and I actually can say that wasn't their store. It was not somebody that was Jim. It was not somebody that was Ivan. They used somebody else's Etsy page, community members, somebody called Sensei Chicken, to, to trademark this. It that kind of weird,
That's a little odd.
a little odd, and I want to prove this to everybody in the community, so it's not just my word. That is indeed the case. So let's go back to that document that I sent you. Scroll down to see the back end of that minivan. Right,
Oh,
I
that's right.
no,
That's
keep
right.
scrolling.
Yep, yep. Right here.
All right, and basically you want to click on that link below, right below, and yep,
Simple.
and
Yep,
pop
yep.
that in.
Let me put it in.
And that's going to take us to an archive page of that store. And if you look right above that red shirt right now, there's a little profile icon. And what does that profile icon say? To the right,
That says
that red shirt.
Kyrian.
Kyrian. That doesn't sound like Jim, nor does it sound like Ivan, does it?
It does not. It does not.
No,
I'm gonna
no.
try to make it a
So
little bigger
that's
so
a
you can
look.
see it.
You're such a saint. Thank you.
Oh, there we go. There we go. So, yep,
Perfect.
Kyrian.
Kyrian, right? And just to hammer this home, let's go back to that document, put the next link down. Right? No. Yep,
Yep.
perfect. And this is the page in which they announce the official store. But who's announcing it? Is it Ivan?
It is deleted now.
It is deleted now because Sensei Chicken is a deleted user. But if you scroll down, or you can do Control Find, and you can type in chicken or Sensei, and it will come up to the right comment where it's going to say, it is a shop of user Sensei chickens It is his work as a community member. He is not a mod. There we go.
Right there,
So
right there.
again, just some more proof there for the trademark office or whomever would want to know this information that they basically, in my opinion, based on this evidence, seemingly have used fraudulent information in order to trademark this this Wall Street silver. Isn't that just weird?
That is too weird. I don't know about all that weirdness.
Well, I got some more stuff to tell you. Go back that document and right underneath, oh, actually, you know what? We need to go back to trademark. Go back to documents. My apologies. We're going to click on suspension letter to that trademark thing.
Let me find it.
Uh, yep, there we go. So we want to click on suspension letter.
Okay, right here.
And we want to find out right now why did the United States Trademark Office decide this is no good. We got to suspend you. So let's roll down a little bit and so you see the issue date of June 3 of 22. There we go. And this is basically saying your application has been suspended, Ivan, until submission of foreign registration or proof that a foreign registration was renewed, which basically tells us that they rushed to trademark this in the United States and did not trademark this in Canada prior. Basically, they wanted to make sure that, you have in your own country a trademark for this, right? It makes sense. But unfortunately, Ivan did not go through that due diligence, um, which backing up to the GoFundMe campaign language, they said that, we're going to be, uh, very responsible with these funds. Uh, does it sound like they were very responsible with the funds if they're trademarking things and it getting suspended?
They're very busy guys. Very busy
They're
guys.
very busy guys. I guess that's an excuse, but they hire lawyers and I guess I tell them wrong things, right? I mean, why would a lawyer mess this up? I guess we could say he's a bad lawyer, but then I don't know. There's a lot of questions here. And I'm not entirely sure the answers of who to blame for the imbecility, but there's been some idiotic choices made here. Otherwise, this wouldn't have happened. So we can actually take a look at the Canadian trademark. I think that's important to bring up to everyone's attention. Now, this is again public information. I'll go out on the limb and say I'm not a Canadian taxpayer, but I'm sure our Canadian bros won't mind us borrowing this just to follow through with our research tonight. Um, so if you scroll down, it's underneath that picture. Keep going there.
Yep.
That will get you over to the right Canadian government. Well, CA is basically their government. Um, and go ahead and search access the database. And we're basically just typing in Wall Street Silver just like before.
Alrighty. Right
And it
here.
should be the first. Yeah. And scroll all the way down so you see action history. And if you can see right there where it says examiner's first report, what is that due date?
That was that is June 6th or June 15th. June 15th this
Yeah.
year.
So in fact, the United States trademark is going to be suspended and it's not going to be able to be renewed without this proof. And this proof is going to come past the deadline of the United States government asking them for proof. So I'm wondering to the effect of what are they selling if they can't protect their own IP?
Well, if I was doing this, I would be like, "Oh, well, I'll just tell the sponsors what was going on and say like, "Hey, we have a hard cutoff at June 15th this year. That's when all the contracts should end if you're dealing with us." If that was
Well,
the
right
case.
now, everything is suspended. Not to get, I think you're getting confused at the examiner's report. They can't
Oh yeah, it is
unsuspend
already.
this.
Yeah, it actually is. Oh my God.
So they're going to be unable to, with everything, all the documents the way they are right now, unless they pull a mulligan with law and something happens with both the U.S. trademark and the Canadian trademark working together to help out these people. I don't see the government helping out these people.
But
It
but
would take a miracle.
but they busy guys. They busy
Well, they
guys.
could be busy guys all they want, but the government has gave them an extension and they asked for another extension. This is the last extension, and it's not going to come out in time. Amazing.
Oh man. So are you saying that there's sponsors that are sponsoring something that isn't even legally probably able to run?
Well, I'm not saying it's not legally able to run. I'm saying that one, as I showed the audience here, the trademark was potentially created with fraudulent information. And two, that trademark is currently suspended. So, say if Gold Silver Bull makes those uh, bars for Wall Street Silver, and they're paying a licensing fee for using their trademark, and in fact, they could just use their trademark without paying a licensing fee right now, and they're paying for basically nothing.
Very interesting. Now, if you were a sponsor, what do you think you would do in this situation?
Well, if I was Gold Silver Bull and I knew that this was happening, I would probably drop paying them and drop that contract because it's no longer worth anything if, say, I mean, anybody could just use the trademark. What am I paying a licensing fee for,
That's true. That's true.
Or, i- if, for instance, I could borrow, which seemingly it's unprotected right now, their logo, their name, and not actually get any legal trouble for it because, again, it's suspended. Um, there's no I mean, the brand is so vulnerable right now to scams and people utilizing it for malicious means that um, I would not like Matt as a sponsor that is paying all this money monthly for my name to be associated with this. Um, that's if, as a sponsor, I didn't know anything about Jim's history for, Ivan's for that matter.
Very
Yeah, I think
interesting.
it really just depends on what, moral character, I suppose, that a business person has. In that instance, I don't know what morals minors have. I don't know what morals influencers have. I'm just a moral ape, and I would say it's kind of wrong.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I think it's also a good thing to kind of get into the mindset a little bit of why there was such a rush to incorporate Wall Street Silver, trademark this, because the evidence is there. We heard some of this evidence on the first Palisades Wall Street Silver uh, Twitter space where this individual called Dimitri or Dimmy for short came on and spoke some of his piece and said that he was uh, one of the founding members of Wall Street Silver along with Jim and Ivan, and there was this falling out process where he basically got muscled out of being a mod. He was the original creator of the YouTube channel as well as the Twitter space. And I found Ivan directing the community because he was in charge of the Reddit community to basically report Demi's account, even though he was the first Twitter, first YouTube for the brand Wall Street Silver, and say that he was a scammer. Why did they do this? Uh, because he was selling T-shirts. That was legitimately what he was, that started all of this. Basically, Dimmy had the first idea to start making money off this, and then Jim and Ivan were like, "Oh man, he's gonna steal this from us." So we gotta hurry up and provide some what seemingly looks like fraudulent proof to the United States trademark, even though I'm Canadian, and trademark this and steal the IP from this person, Timmy. That's seemingly what has transpired. Not to say that Timmy is a good guy because he's the one that got it stolen from. He seems also to be not so great because he had, also they seem sort of uh, motivations behind what he was doing. Uh, Basically, it was a cash cow. Everyone sort of saw the movement, but more as a brand in that instance. It's sad. Yeah. So I think what we should do next is just go through some of these Reddit posts and comments, just to kind of build off that narrative. I just kind of laid out for everyone. Yeah,
Alrighty.
scroll down a bit.
So we already saw that. I guess
Yeah.
this
So
would be
right
part of it.
here, let's yep. So we can just leave that on the screen right now. Um, there is a if you scroll up a little bit so that they can see
Oh,
the link to the next page.
yeah.
There you go. So yeah, pause the screen real quick. Take that link. Take a look for yourself. This is legit. So scroll down. We'll see the link itself. Well, the post itself, and it's basically Ivan. Someone is selling merch on Wall Street Silver Twitter. It's scam. Please go comment. It's a scam. Like he's telling everybody in the community that the Dimmy's Twitter account is a scam. That's so wrong. You're not supposed to use your community, Ivan, to raid people, to brigade people. That's almost like an inciting violence with speech, which is not a protected part of free speech, mind you. But he basically used Wall Street Silver as a dumb army to attack itself. Isn't that crazy?
I thought brigading was cool though. Reddit likes that, don't they?
No, 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 no. They don't like this at all. Uh,
What? No.
we'll get into some more things that Reddit is not gonna like. Um, in the coming screens, I think everyone's gonna love what we found here and what other community members pointed out to us. So if we scroll down some more, um, do we get more context of the Silver Surfer 300 is Ivan's account. It's just another alt. Um, just to throw that out there, Ivan Bionki or Bioki or however you want to pronounce his janky name, it his account, his first one, the one that started the subreddit, is suspended. All right,
Wait a
and that's
minute.
pretty crazy.
How can you have more than one account though? You can't have more than one account. It's impossible.
Well, I think there's a sort of gray area with Reddit where you could have multiple accounts for some reason, but it changes course radically once you get one of those accounts banned. Then it would be considered, if you logged into an alt account of the one that you got banned, would be a ban evasion, like you're avoiding the punishment. And Reddit does not like that.
Interesting. Interesting.
Right. So if anybody goes to Reddit right now and types in reddit.com/u/Ivan Biuki, just as it shows, and if you scroll back up to them in the last post, you'll see that that he's basically scroll up just to that second one, to the right above. Yeah,
Oh, yep,
the
yep.
username. Yeah,
Right here.
basically, if anyone pause the screen, take a look at that, pop that username in, you'll see Ivan's first account, the one that has the crown. If you look under Wall Street Silver's moderators, denoting that it's the admin, the one that started everything, it was banned by Reddit, suspended, never to be seen from again. So that makes every account based on the terminology of Reddit TOS, which we're all pretty familiar with at this point, um, as ban evasion. He is breaking the law by operating the subreddit. Isn't that amazing? Not the law, but the rules, the terms of service rules for Reddit, just to clarify. But isn't that pretty amazing?
I wonder why why would he do that though? No. There's no reason to do that. I don't want to believe it.
Well, he obviously saw it coming because he already had alts that he gave full moderation powers to prior to that one getting banned. And maybe he's extra paranoid, and that's the reason why he creates all these different alts, which, you know what, we can get into a little bit later to
Before we,
identify all these alts.
not to throw you
Yeah.
off, but before we go through, we have Little Dipper, we got Degenerate, we got JW, we got Neil, and Yodi. If you guys have any questions, type it in, and we'll respond to that after whatever. Just put a question in there if you have something to say or whatever. So go ahead,
It's just
IA.
we're just going through the motions early. But welcome everyone. Glad you tuned in, and everyone's got to learning something here because this was a revelation to me when I was seeing all this for the first time, and it just kind of keeps going. We got a lot to share. I'm excited. So, um, if we scroll down, we see in the second post, it just gets us a little more context. Like I was saying, um, this is Ivan's alt account, Silver Surfer 300, similar to his boat surfer, I think 600 that he currently uses. Um, but it says the old Twitter was run by a mod here named LAF IDIME, which is just short. We're going to call him Jimmy, which he prefers to be called actually. Um, he tried to sell merchandise today. Ivan caught him red-handed. Apparently, it was a murder. And then Jimmy was not donating to the GoFundMe for the community. And so he was weaponizing the basically the reputation that he was building for himself with the community, that he was going to fall through with the community's wishes, and using that to attack Jimmy, who he was purporting was just in it for money, which turns out in hindsight is 2020, Ivan, if you're listening. You did the same thing. This is the pot calling the kettle black. And basically, he got away with it until STC came along. And we asked a simple question: where's that ledger? I hope you're happy with yourself. Moving up. Um, if we scroll down, we see this. I actually dragged this up. Like, this is actually something that happened. This is not a gaslight because I got to check this out when any time it comes to I have its post. Is it a lie? Is it the truth? So we make sure to verify everything he says. And in this case, it was the truth. And the truth is, it just shows that, Jimmy this is the original Wall Street Silver. This is the account that was never ran by Jim. They ended up getting the community to find a way to ban and report it, so it got wiped out along with the YouTube channel. I don't know if their lawyers got involved in that process because I think any content creator out there knows how YouTube is just in infamy of not being able to get a hold of. I know of no support line for them. I don't know of any way of other than just a general email that may go into the void to get in touch with them. So it's just one of those weird things of actually how did they get this? Did the community actually succeed and just make it such a nuisance for the people that receive these notices? Or is this something that they spend the community's money on in order to monopolize, basically? And take down their competition. I just think
Hmm.
it's a travesty wherever you look at it. Even if they at the time, if you want to give them the benefit of the doubt, somehow, some way that they were out for the community's best interests at the time, and then slowly got corrupted along the way. There's no evidence to suggest that happened. I'm just putting that out there. It seems from the get-go this was the plan, and it was a race to do it first. It's just that we got stuck with Ivan and Jim because they bent the rules, provided fraudulent information, and here we are. Um, and they're gonna provide us some more fraudulent information as it turns out. We're gonna go through some of these beautiful comments that came from from some of the communities, some that I've found, basically anybody can go type in these usernames and search them up. Uh, basically like that. When it comes to suspension accounts, you have to use a syntax like uh, in the Reddit search, type in the word author, a colon, and then without a space, the username in which you're trying to look up. And even if that account's suspended, as long as the user didn't personally delete it himself, you should be able to find remnants of comments and posts that that person made. This is how all these, I presume, were found, because, we have some in there by Ivan, and his account is deleted and suspended, which is basically sort of deleted, but not. Um, but yeah, that's just so everyone has sort of a background that you can do this yourself. You could take a look at the stuff, and if you want at any point in the video to pause and then type in the URL, it's right there on the screen. Um, so the first thing, that it's on DMM's screen right now is another beautiful promise I just love to read. So I'll do the honors. Haha, friend. It's a 0.50 cent premium on 2,500 coins, that 1,200 or 12,500 profit going to grow Wall Street Silver on social media. Now, uh, that's just one portion of the ledger that we never got. Would be an inclusion of this 50 cent premium on an unknown amount of coins that were sold to the community. But technically speaking here, that promise is to the community. So I feel Ivan's still on the hook for delivering this money to the community. In the perfect world scenario, that's what I'm trying to imagine. Um, Another great one. If we scroll down here, this is great. Ivan will be 100% transparent. Now, he's speaking to himself in third person. I can guarantee you that this is Ivan's account, and if ever the community makes a post after this trying to find more proof about this, I'll be happy to provide it. But just for show's sake, right now, this is Ivan's account, and he's talking to himself in third person, which he does. I think he does so much at this point with all his alt accounts. He's used to it. I think with AG, DMM, you've seen sort of his alts talking, or what we perceive to be his alts talking. And it's like, yep, that's definitely Ivan, right? You got those moments.
There's definitely been situations where the the presumed alt accounts are literally just copy and pasting what the other one said. So
Yeah,
there's
It's
yo,
a very particular speech pattern. If you're familiar with him, a lot of the community members could point one out pretty easily. Yes.
yeah. So he doesn't hide it. So that means that he thinks we're all idiots. He's in, by doing all these old things and pretending not to be himself. Uh, he's insulting ape intelligence, and I just don't respect the man for doing that. Um, but
we
here in
did
the
get a
second slot,
we did get a question from JW,
oh,
and they're saying, is there legal ramifications for all their shenanigans? It's a very broad thing.
I'm not a lawyer. I can only speculate, and I will preference everything I'm saying right now as complete speculation because I have no degree in law. But what I feel is this is fraudulent behavior, and fraud is a criminal offense. And the Supreme Court has ruled that if something a fraud is found, it pretty much corrupts the whole. Um, in terms of you know restitution, pretty much. If they do one fraudulent thing, they're on the hook for that one thing, and it may affect everything down the line there, and that's all would all be considered fraud. So if the first thing that they did was to start a GoFundMe and then subsequently lie about all the promises they made, never delivered on that, everything that money touched after the fact is fraud. Yeah, I would think, based on my interpretation of that Supreme Court ruling. But as a general speculative statement, I think that the GoFundMe and ban evasion are definitely two avenues that may or rather should be explored if you donated to the GoFundMe, file a report. Yeah, once this video posts, file the report with this video and, you know, uh, let's see what GoFundMe can do with their guarantee. Um, then maybe take some money out of Ivan's account and give it back to the community in some capacity, or refund it to everyone, which would be more beneficial, I think, in these hard times. Um, but secondly would be then Reddit, I would say, with their ban evasion. That if you're upset that I was basically running this subreddit with all the posts being moderator approval, just remember that that moderator that he's enforcing all these the censorship with, in the Reddit's opinion, is ban evading. He's breaking the rules of Reddit, the ones that we all have to follow, the ones that if you're a member of Wall Street Silver, get enforced upon you. There's a double standard here if they're not also being applied to Ivan and Jim for that matter. Uh, I don't believe Jim is gone. Uh, the language of Twitter space still sounds like Jim. He's still posting stupid shit just like Jim. Um, so yeah, I think Jim's still in charge of the Twitter. So he's a part of this conversation as well. Um,
Well, I definitely think that Jim's still using his Twitter for sure. I mean, someone is. I mean, someone's posting like 10, 12 things a day for sure. I
well,
don't, him or
Jim's
not.
complacent in all of this. If not, we don't know who. We know that Ivan started the GoFundMe, and the majority of the money that was raised went to his bank account. Yeah, we don't know how much of that money went to Jim's bank account from Ivan's account. We can only know that the money went to Ivan, so the buck stops there. It's all on him for that. Um,
We're
I
getting,
believe that you have. Hmm?
we are getting a few more questions coming in.
Yeah, we
Oh, I
we
love
have
questions. We'll take it
we
in
have a
any direction
couple.
anybody wishes.
My two Sats and John Smith are asking if they could have any recourse or seek compensation about losing money on advice given by Jim and Ivan. And we also have a question from JW. If
Well, let me
Wall
take that
Street,
one real
okay,
quick. Let me take the first one so we're not
well,
getting
then it'll be
confused.
yours
So,
to jump
i-
in.
in, so in terms of if you've taken advice and gotten screwed over by that advice, it would really depend on the video or place in which you took that advice. If it does not have, this is an advertisement disclaimer, and I mean, you can basically tell who's been advertising with Wall Street Silver by if they had if they ever appeared on Wall Street Silver as a guest, then they paid Jim and Ivan. That's how it works. Um, we were hearing it rumors at some point of $5,000 a pop. If you even want to, if you want to be associated and have this conversation with us, Jim was hard lying 5,000. Maybe he made special deals in order to undercut people. We've heard that too. But they were definitely making money. And if there was no disclaimer on the video that you got your financial advice from, then yes, they are responsible for that. 100%. Next question.
Okay, JW is asking if Wall Street Silver is a business, should the GoFundMe be listed in their tax filing?
Uh, I would think so, yeah. I'm just befuddled by the lack of ability to provide the ledger. When this whole conversation was brought up, what, 6 weeks ago now, give or take. And he said within a week we'll get that receipt from Lamar. More than likely, he didn't be even emailed him. It was just sort of buying for time because we didn't see anything come of that. Um, so it's just one of those things, I think, where ultimately it's going to come probably down to GoFundMe to step in. if there's any sort of restitution that can be given back to the people that donated.
Now,
That sum up the question?
I think that was the last part of that question, but no, I think on that part of the of people donating to this project and donating to the GoFundMe. I mean, people would have been pretty fine with that if they would have actually followed up with what they promised to do. Uh, I don't think anyone would have been mad at them. So that's why it's so weird that you wouldn't give out this information unless there was some reason why you would not want to provide that information.
Something happened, in the background that we just don't know. But yeah, for a course of, going back 2 years, I think it would go back to um, 20, late 2021, early 2022, that he was still sort of telling people that the ledger was coming. And then it just sort of subject just sort of got dropped from the communities. People stopped bringing it up after those billboards started being people posting pictures of the billboards and whatnot. But the whole thing with that is we know that there's been some community members that spent their own money enacting these billboards because the image that they used for the billboards was freely shared to the community. It was basically made open source, so anybody could take this image and erect a billboard of their own. Ivan, at one point, if memory serves, claimed that there were 70 billboards that they enacted. There's no way to verify that. I didn't find 70 unique pictures on the subreddit. I found a collage of them. There was some that Pizzagate is Pizzagate. For you that there, Pizza Slut is moderator and she's visited some of these billboards, but of course, she has no way of verifying if that was one from Ivan and Jim or if that was one from the community. The ledger is important to establish if the money was spent responsibly, exactly what they said it was, and that's what was important about all of this because you know their word is pits at this point. So they really need to provide all that. And as a business, there really should have been all of these receipts. All of this has to be documented well, he's Canadian, so the Canadian Revenue Service or agency would have wanted to know all of this. So of course he has that stuff. It's just he doesn't want to show us probably because it's not going to line up with what he said, would be my guess.
So my two sats is asking class action. I assume that's in reference to the GoFundMe if a class action suit would be viable.
It's possible. You'd probably find a lawyer, take it pro bono because Wall Street Silver, it has money. I mean, it has sponsors still. Anybody, that's a lawyer would look at that. Yeah, I'll probably go after that because it's a payday. It's not going after somebody that's poor, and you're not getting blood from a stone on that. You're getting fiat from a fat man and his dumb sidekick. So yeah, I think that class action would be viable, but you'd need to organize that.
Now remember, guys, class actions, those take a minute. Then it's still worth doing to receive some form of justice if justice is needed in a situation like that.
Mhm.
And obviously, you're not going to even get a lawyer to touch it unless they think it's viable. So, I mean, that's kind of the first thing you'll find out if you're going to do something like that.
Just showing this video, and we cover enough kind of topics that probably wet their whistle on this, and you know, if somehow this gets organized, I would be happy to provide everything that I have for research that will go towards this pursuit because justice is important. Somebody shouldn't get away with co-opting, I would say, a grassroots movement of apes that came together to share in common ideals, stacking silver and squeeze this mother effing Comex until it pops like one of those pimple popping shows where it just gushes everywhere. It's just so epic, and I want to see that. I've been waiting 2 years for it to see that, and it's kills me inside that this is SDC was needed. I mean, I've had to be here, but it should have happened 2 years ago that we squeezed it. And the only reason I can tell you all right now that we didn't squeeze it is because of Jim and Ivan grifting the community and putting our priorities where they didn't need to be.
Yeah, I think we're finally in a spot with SDC where we could actually do that. Do all the stuff that we're trying to
Uh,
do without fleecing everyone.
I mean, like, what about physical silver at SDC? There's no other options. Um, I mean, some of the community probably have seen me, basically shit posting with Kinesis at this point. Um, Going back and forth with their troll army, which, yeah, more than likely not bots, but cult zealots of this idea of a tokenized digital comex and them thinking to themselves, this is not cognitive dissonance. I'm on the right side of history. It just blows my mind that they don't get it.
Yeah, and
But of course, they don't get it because it's a Ponzi scheme and they're supposed to not get it, is my assumption.
Oh, what's that quote? It's hard to make a man see the truth when his paycheck depends on him not seeing it.
Yeah, but it's basically UBI then at that point, isn't it?
oh, that's on the way too. That's coming. That's coming.
Yeah. But yeah, this that even Ivan and Jim saw that gravy train for what it was, and I don't know if everyone on the call was on the last Palisades Kinesis thing. The first hour was so boring that I imagine most people dropped out and stayed for the whole thing for everybody. And they said they gave Wall Street Silver $53,000 and 5K per month on top of that. So they were rolling in the money from an early start of this. They got Kinesis, basically mid-March, late March. So right as this GoFundMe campaign was rolling, taking everyone's money in, they're also taking money in from Kinesis and rolling in that stuff too. Like great people.
And I mean, if you look at the total, now these are all obviously just people posting their testimonials on like Twitter and stuff, but the average amount of money that people were saying that Jim was saying or James Morrison was saying was 175,000 a month, and that's probably for like 12 to 16 months worth. Uh, I mean, that's like
That's
2.1
a lot.
mil. That's 2.1 mil.
Well, let's just say that they definitely have taken in a mill at this point, probably two. If we're going to be really, out there, maybe two, there, maybe 1 million per each of them. There's speculative numbers here. That's plenty of bottles and bottles and miners for Jim.
And it has been stated many times that for some reason Jim would like to flaunt these numbers a lot in every public event, at every chance he had. Now these are just what people are saying. It could be wrong, but there's so many people
Well,
saying it.
it's basically like that scene out of The Big Short where there was that Asian guy and uh, the, the guy from the Daily Show talking across the table from each other, and it was the Asian guy that was just like, you know, I'll show you mine if you show me yours, just completely like, gauging his whole worth on his money, on the value of his money, and that's the type of person that Jim is. He is not liked as a person, so he has to swing his dick around for to use colloquial terms, um, in order to beat people with his large endowed dick that is basically a gaslight, um, or just based off the fiat at this point, which is something apes all know is basically worthless. So he's swinging his worthless big clout dick around trying to get attention.
Well, and even worse than the fiat is he was so concerned with the followers, which is even stupider. That's just as dumb as karma. Like,
Well, yeah, that recent post, right? Where he's talking about if we combine our totals on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Discord, Telegram, we got over 1 million subscribers, man, followers. You don't do that. That's just basically counting NG 3 times or maybe even more. Who knows how many people are actively subscribing in multiple platforms, but that's the kind of, mentality he's trying to sell. He's trying to sell the brand off these fake numbers right now, which is
right,
pretty amazing.
rehypothecated followers.
They everything that they do it is seemingly fraudulent to me. I'm going to say seemingly to protect my legal behind, or speculatively fraudulent. They're not giving advertisers the right data in order to value their brand. Their brand doesn't even have a trademark. Uh, they're the moderators, Ivan and Jim, aren't even supposed to be moderators of Reddit based on um, bad evasion. Like it just keeps amounting to even more crap. And coins and the bullion, all the 50% on the dollar was supposed to come back to the community. That never got added to the ledger. How much money did they make off that bullion? Probably a ridiculous amount too. So
And I mean, the
it's
community wouldn't
dead
care.
insane.
The community wouldn't care if they actually they're no the community didn't tell them to do this, like didn't tell them to like put a 50-cent premium on all it. They said that.
Well,
They're the
they
ones that
said
said they
that
would do
because,
that.
well, I think they said that basically because, yeah, they wouldn't have said anything if nobody actually brought it up in the comments that, hey, isn't this kind of like taking advantage of the situation, man? No, we're doing it to help you all, guys. It's all good. We're family. You're
Oh,
phenomenal.
Little Dipper is bringing up a good point here. He's saying I'm assuming Jim, is buying followers, and most of them are fake bot accounts.
Well, we can't exactly 100% prove that, but I have seen the follower list of Wall Street Silver, and it does sort of look like a barren wasteland of bots. It is sort of seemingly looking like that, but it's sort of hard to prove that without a shadow of a doubt situation. It just seems like that for sure.
Well, even during the Twitter space, when I was talking about how this group formed, and when I created it on in like December or some shit, and like everyone jumped on from the meme team. James Anderson came on, and he was like, "Oh yeah," because I was saying like those numbers seem like really inflated based on the activity that we're actually seeing, so it could be bots. And James Anderson came on. He's like, "Oh no, he's like, I can confirm that Jim Lewis told me that they bought bots. So they bought
Well,
followers and stuff. So
based on James Anderson, then I guess that would be the source of that to for him. But for a court of law, would he go in there and say that? Because that's evidence. That's to suggest that these people are inflating their numbers and providing fraudulent data to the advertisers or sponsors or whatever they want to call themselves, minors.
well, and uh, James was really cool during that Twitter space too, and he didn't have a lot of time to talk, but coming up to bat. One of the only guys coming up to bat for the SDC as I was talking. So that was really cool of him. And of course, the
Hmm.
pickaxe as well. Uh, uh, Throwing in some love.
Yeah, gotta love pickaxe. Yeah, so a lot's been going on. I think from what I've seen for traffic, it seems on par. Uh, Maybe a little bit less posts because we're curating a better experience for our membership. Getting rid of the spam and just the things that just are completely off topic from the board that it used to just turn Wall Street Silver into a complete mess. Um, we're seeing just as much engagement, I think, from our side, if we're looking at the subreddit stats, in certain categories is Wall Street Silver. So that's another indication I think that could be used to suggest that there's definitely some botting, click farming sort of going on here. It's
And
doubly so because they have like almost 300,000 subreddit followers, and it's just the same people talking all the time.
Well, and if you compare the number of posts per day, ours is astronomically higher because you still have to
We
get
got
approved before your post even shows up on that subreddit.
That's true, and that's why we see a lot of, significant prints, being able to be posted, and that's just Ivan's alt account. His current Ivan alt account is significant print, or something to that effect. Press 7, the number 7 to it, I think. But I have a list at the very end of this document. I don't know if we'll get to it tonight or we'll have to do it in part 2, but we're definitely gonna cover all the known Ivan and Jim accounts to sort of, uh sh he'll show everyone, uh, how crazy, that if you know this information, what Wall Street Silver looks like. It's basically Ivan talking to himself to, generate fake hype, fake conversation, change the direction of the community, I guess word would be zeitgeist in that sense, because there's certain people that just lurk and they read the comments and they're trying to understand from the comments' sake the general feel of the community. And if those lurkers are none the wiser and just reading a conversation from different alt accounts of Ivan telling a different story than what the community actually feels, then that's another level of fraud that I was able to see.
we're about an
Um,
hour, a little over an hour in already. We're halfway through with the document. Do you want to keep going through the document, or do you want to, or
well,
sh-
let's just go through a couple other things, see where the conversation takes us. As soon as questions start rolling again, we'll take another round of questions, and maybe that will be it. And we'll do a part 2.
cool, cool.
All right. So what do we got here? So yeah, this is more reiteration that we see that Ivan just promising the ledger, hammering that home, um, that every dime would be spent correctly. I think we have a deep fake video of him saying, we'll post that later on for kicks and giggles. Basically, Ivan, saying he counts every penny, but it's just satire because we know that's not true. Um, just more gaslighting, which is the epitome of what Ivan's all about. Let's scroll down some more because this is a good one that I really like to point out. There came a point where, there this Silver Surfer person is basically like, absolutely, Ivan will be 100% transparent. That's just him again on his alt account saying that but talking in the third person, um, GoFundMe, sent him an email saying they want receipts to the spending or they won't release the funds. So they're saying right here that they already spent some money, that they spent the money before they got the money basically here. And they're just coming out with this lie that, GoFundMe is really making sure and verifying what they're doing is correct. So passing the buck over to GoFundMe, and saying that, you know, GoFundMe wouldn't, is basically the one saying that, yeah, we're doing everything right now because otherwise you wouldn't be doing it. But that's a complete gaslight. GoFundMe does not verify where the funds are spent after they release that funds. They make sure that the person is the person in which set up the campaign, that what they're intending to do is seemingly what their intentions are to do, and then they release the funds and Bob's your uncle. you know, the 100 grand goes to his account. And at that point, I don't know what powers they have over that, but it's definitely not oversight of Wall Street Silver, what Ivan is trying to suggest here. I just think this is just a really good example of, you know, gaslighting on his part.
Yeah, this is a lot of
Oh,
interesting stuff. We're also getting
and it was,
some stuff from Little Dipper talking about just to be careful with your information. Anyone basically this should be common, but anyone with personal information out there, just make sure you have it protected to some degree, to the extent you can, and passwords, watermarks,
well,
all that.
from an OSINT perspective, the best advice I could give you if you want to stay anonymous online is not use the same username. Don't use a username that seems similar to the other one or is in character of an anime. Um, there's ways of making connections to things. Even the same languages that you use, syntax of your what you type out, what your interests are. These things can be cross-referenced. Of course, you can't if it's only on interests alone, and of course, it's not a verifiable way of, this is definitely this person, this is definitely that person, but it's like hints, breadcrumbs along the way. So if you can eliminate those breadcrumbs by having a different username for every platform, they have no rhyme or reason connection to the other one, that use a different email address to register for your accounts, that you're not putting a sort of personal information out there in your comments. In fact, I would say take the time to answer um, questions and pretend like you're somebody else. You're feeding whomever may be looking at your profile from like a Reddit username perspective, misinformation, so it takes somebody off the trail. Those would be my advice out to the community if you want to stay safe online from uh, people looking into you, because everything is public. Whatever you put out there is public. So just be careful to make your really, your private, your public things private in any case that you can, except for the people that you want to see.
Yeah, that sounds good. I think people will use that. They should use that, especially if you're making content. You should definitely take all the steps to protect your content that you're creating. That's why it's one of the rules on the subreddit to make sure you watermark
Watermark the
all your
shit.
bullshit. All right, watermark it all.
Yeah, no, that's all really smart. I honestly think if Jim's that mad to try to track me down and fuck with me, that would be hilarious. But yes, that's all very smart.
I've stocked up on fruit bowls. If he comes for me, I'm tossing them at him.
Yeah, we can have a snowball fight with fruit bowls.
I see this is viral in the making. I'll have make sure that somebody's there, my neighbor, whomever. Hold that video camera. Make sure you see me tossing fruit bowls at you. I will make sure that it's gets uploaded, that it's history. It's there forever if this happens. So gotta watch out, Jim. If you're listening, do not come here. I will throw the fruit bowls at you.
I want to see
This is
your house set up like a Home Alone situation where all the traps are just fruit
I
balls.
have I have the Claymore Roomba and the fruit bowls. You don't want to mess with me.
Oh, it's so good. Well,
Uh,
we're an hour 40 or an hour and 15 in. We could probably just finish this if you want to. I mean, there's only 5 pages left,
I
but what do you want to do?
Yeah, let's just go through it, and then I have a lot more to share for part two, so we can talk. Oh, for part two, just to tease it, because this is really important, we got to put this out there, is we had a community member of ours, I'll just call him person for right now. I don't know if he wants to be named, but he took a comparison book at tw the Wall Street Silver Twitter account, and tried to find every instance of plagiarism, where Jim or Ivan have taken a post of someone else's and directly ripped it off. I mean, this is one of those instances why we made our rule. the watermark rule there is because we saw this was being done by Jim and Ivan. It's just them stealing without crediting people's work. Um, so yeah, I think that's
That's actually one of the reasons
if anything.
why I make videos instead of memes so often is because it's way harder to steal a video with a watermark than it, in it than or just subtly hiding stuff in there or posting it on my channel. Like I had to do that
I
just
mean,
because I was worried about that shit
yeah,
happening.
the people
Oh,
out there are lazy.
the sheer
Hmm?
number of times that Ivan just completely stole a post instead of reposting it from Wall Street Bets or Super Stonk, or even 5 minutes later from members in Wall Street Silver, you'd see him repost your stuff and it get upvoted past you. It was heinous.
Awful. I don't respect that behavior at all. I mean, if you're going to steal the work, you contact that person and you watermark that person and you give him credit and you roll out the red carpet because he's basically leading a community. Why isn't he building his community up to benefit just as much as him? That's what we're trying to do. We're, taking all these content creators and that they normally didn't have a platform or a voice to carry, giving them a voice and people, an audience to see it if they're because we think it's good, they should be, given credit for this kind of stuff. But yeah, that's just something that I think is important. AG, I don't know if you mind if I tell everyone this, but you had actually taken it upon your own volition and contacted some of the people, and they were very pleased to hear from you, from what I understand, about this plagiarism.
Yeah, there was four, I think, within the work of that member that you had mentioned before that
Hmm.
found cut and dry evidence of it being plagiarized from someone's personal websites, and I reached out to them with that information. Yes.
Yeah, it's just stealing somebody's like livelihood, really, if they're going out of their way to make these posts and trying to attract a network or a following to them. The same thing that Ivan and Jim is trying to do for Wall Street Silver. They're basically stealing people's hard-earned living and profiting off of it, which is very wrong,
Now, I
in
do
my
want to
opinion.
say that the normal Twitter user stealing someone's post like that, so or potentially stealing anyone's
A
post like
personal
that.
account
Yeah, a personal
is
account.
different than a business.
Exactly. Exactly. Like especially someone that represents the business and stuff or and when that person actually is the business like that does like I can't do that on my on the Twitter account for SDC. I would never do something like that and
Well,
like
here's the thing for me, guys. It's easier, it takes less effort to click repost on Twitter or retweet on or Reddit and
Or
Twitter,
cross post or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, cross post, retweet, whatever, than to rip the title and the body as if you're passing it off as your own. You're going through that extra effort to pretend like it was your work.
Hmm. That's just right. It wouldn't fly in college. It wouldn't fly in the actual workplace with an HR department. And it definitely shouldn't fly online. I think, you know, let's ask the community. I mean, how do you guys feel about that?
so we got a cheddar cheese that's dropping all kinds of crazy fucking cool beats. He's just tuning in. He's listening to the beginning though. So he's trying
Hmm.
to catch up. But uh Degenerate says it totally is. They're just lying. So that's nothing too crazy.
Ye-
JW didn't know how
Yeah.
to pronounce memes. That's pretty funny.
Just like
Mm.
GIF and GIF, right?
He said that he was
I go
calling
with GIF.
saying Mimi, which I think is actually funnier, but I think that's way funnier.
Well, I
Oh, that
think
is
that's
how
the
you say it,
French.
Mimi.
Meme.
I Well, I think that's how you say grandmother and with your French Canadians, it's meme. I think I remember that somewhere.
Oh, I know, like my grandma used to always tell me it's time to go Mimi. That means you're trying to go sleep.
Ah, that's
And
very
Mimi,
cute.
it's Mimi time.
Uh, all right. I see in the document where we're at now, and I do want to bring this up. So scroll down. Um, if anyone hasn't seen this, this is one of those things where it's gonna blow your mind that this even exists. Um, Go ahead and click SoundCloud there, and we'll just let it kind of unfold before our eyes. Auto tune, or just experience the horror of the very fact that you've been giving this man money and he's been using it to purchase beats and auto tune apps or plugins for his music beats studio and pretending to be Drake and Kanye. I don't know. This is just a mind that blows my mind how much music that I have downloaded to be sure that, since we're showing this off, there's no way that Ivan can run away from his career, his music career. I have it all. And I don't know if that's a waste or a good use of my terabytes, but that is what it is. And he is a rapper. This is what Ivan's been doing before Wall Street Silver. Of course, we know he's a car salesman before that, but what he was using his money there was to pretend to be a. Here's a song called Rap God, so I'll just refer to him as the Rap God, the GAWD though, because he is not a deity in this respect at all.
Are you sure?
Well,
Uh,
If it says Rap God, you have to be Rap God. Like,
I'm not gonna lie, guys. Scoopty Whoop goes pretty hard.
well, right, AG has a favorite song. It's if memory serve, called No Lies, which is very ironic. And at the very end of the song, around like 2 minutes and 30, 2 minutes and 40 seconds, this random thing, it happens. It's a normal rap song, right? Throughout the whole thing. But then there's this weird voice of a girl in the background, and then Ivan comes out of nowhere and says, "Scuppity boop, scuppity boop." It's just like that. I don't know how that sounds on everyone else's end, but it's high pitched. It's the most ridiculous sound in the world. Now, if we do more of these live streams and we can set up to where we get followers and there's some sort of card comes up, like, when PewDiePie streams or uh, whoever, and it makes noise, we're going to use that noise from that specific song of Ivan making a tard noise, and we're never gonna get rid of it.
it is
So he's always
solidified
gonna
for the
stick around with
ages.
us.
He's gonna be around for the ages now. This actually might help launch his rap career. This
I would love that. Let's get him all the attention he never wanted.
this
Uh,
should launch
there's
it.
I think next time, because I don't have those prepared right now, but next time I'll show off his YouTube channels of rap, where he actually took the Wall Street Silver YouTube channel and commented on his own YouTube rap songs that he's the best, that this is amazing, heart. I can't believe this is you, man. This is great. It's just like, what? Really? He's that sad of an individual. This is so cringe that he would actually use his Wall Street Silver account to prop up his music career. That's how terrible it is, mind you. If he had to even try and attempt that, it must not be good, Ivan.
At least get your
And
family
and
members to do it. So at least get that. So
true that. And you know what? I don't know of any way in which to search via the comment for YouTube. So no one's going to be finding out what Wall Street Silver comments on, and so I have no idea what the purpose of this was.
Okay, guys. So Little Dipper wants to hear one of Ivan's songs, and JW said that Ivan needs to make a movie about his life, so we can call it 8 Miles.
We could totally play one of his songs. There's
which
no
one?
copyright
What?
on this.
Mama's Escalade? Or what? Do you want
Uh,
Mama's Escalade? Love Life.
you could
This is
choose.
it. God 3. Wait. Did he kill God 1 and God 2? Or
I don't know, but there is a song called "Kill Illuminati." So maybe he kills the Illuminati. I don't know. That would be the only good thing he's done.
I
What
think
is?
that's exactly how it went, DMM.
I hope.
Basically, whoever wants to hear a song, choose the song, and we will play a little snippet of it.
Oh, they want to hear Scoop De Whoop.
I for
That would be No Lies. See if
no
that one is
lies.
available. If not, I can get the YouTube link for it.
I don't
There
think.
is actual YouTube links where in the comment in the doobly doo, he basically he shows his phone number, his real life phone number.
Oh yeah, he's trying to pick
I
up
think that's just
Snapchat uh fans. Just trying to pick up, literally trying to pick up Snapchat fans with putting his real cell phone number on a fucking description on YouTube. I do not,
it's
man.
just mind boggling. So as an open source intelligence gatherer kind of person, don't do that. Don't ever put your personal information out there, even on LinkedIn. Don't put your email out there. Don't put your phone number there. If they want to contact you, and contact you through their portal. That's why it's there. But
Oh, it's not
DMM,
here. It's not
just
here.
I DM'd you on Discord. The link to it, if you want to just load it up on YouTube, let's just show that one off. It's amazing. We got to have the shoop de whoop.
We do need a shoopity whoop.
Shoopity
Oh,
whoop part is
that's
like at
towards the end,
2
right?
minutes and like I think it's 2 minutes 14 seconds.
It's towards the end of it.
Yep,
Yeah, I sent it to you.
2 minutes and 14 seconds exactly is it comes up. So you might want to do it at 2 minutes and 12 seconds or so.
Oh no, we're giving it a full debut. We're giving it a fucking.
Yeah, she wanna meet me on the way. Yeah, my baby girl like on the lay. Yeah, and I ain't never gonna say meet me on the dark side. Baby,
Yodi is asking about the Discord channel.
baby, meet me on the way. Yeah, my baby girl is
The
on the way.
I don't know. I can't hear anything if it's playing. So I
Oh,
don't
you
want to
can't.
interrupt
Oh, oh, oh! I gotta put it back. Sorry, guys. Sorry, I was talking.
My baby girl is on the way.
Here, let me get that link for you, Yodi.
Whoopty scoopty.
And it may not just play on my end. I hope. Can somebody in the comment
Could you guys hear
section?
that? Could you guys hear that song playing on the comments right now? Did you hear that? So I think Little Dippers and JW are fans now. Sounds like they're fans.
Well, please, by all means, check it out. He has, I'm sure you can see the URL on the screen. Pause the screen, type the URL in. You'll see Ivan's actual YouTube channel. It's not his
What's
only
his,
one.
it's his
But
fucking name?
this one shows,
This was his
yeah,
name. Like literally his name.
another example of what not to do.
Uh,
But if you click on it, it basically shows you his car salesman days and his rap days and his days as a conspiracy theorist.
I mean, this is just like a bunch of Mitsubishi ads, I guess.
Windows
Basically,
power
like, hey,
locks,
it's
power side
Ivan.
mirrors,
Here's your car.
Bluetooth cruise control, nice touchscreen display, and of course your super all-wheel control with heated seats.
I hope Mitsubishi
7
sponsors
passengers
us
in the
for
back,
this
and of
free
course you
ad
have a
I'm giving them
60/40
right
split
now.
that'll fold all the way down.
Well,
Here's a quick look at the
I
back
don't
of the
know.
vehicle.
I
Oh yeah,
don't
this
care
is a
much
quick
for a
look at the
car
back of the
race.
Again, I'd
vehicle.
like to thank you so
This
much
is a
for
car,
your inquiry on the all-new
guys. It's really
2020
good.
Outlander. I hope
Mitsubishi's
to hear
number
from you
one.
soon. Take care.
SDC, jump on it.
Yeah, Ivan should have stuck what he was good at, selling cars, not grifting people. He teamed up with Jim, and those two just eh, two dickheads put their brains together and came up with like an ultimate dickhead, and then that's what they did. This ultimate dickhead things. But okay, so we got the screen back up here. Everyone had a little bit of fun with little lot. Well, he has a lot of rap names. There's a few of them. Of course, it's Ivan B or IB. Um, but then my personal favorite, Little Ivan. The LIL
You gotta do
apostrophe
Lil
Ivan.
Ivan, yeah, of course.
There's also, from what I understand from listening to the lyrics of his songs, I've listened to them all to my chagrin. But the girls apparently call him Little Ivy. Just putting that out there.
uh,
Uh, okay, so but we have established now that is a good potential possibility that Ivan's really not a creative person, and well, I'll just come out and say it. We found a moderator account that had the name of ID23. Um, well, I'm kind of wondering to myself, who possibly could this be at this point, right?
who could I
But of
be
course we know.
23 be? I don't know.
So
I don't know.
let's scroll down to this next picture. So we see him commenting on this, uh, just the Wall Street silver bullion that came out. And he says, I love this bar. Got my family to grab some. Oh, really? Did you? Did you, Ivan? Um, and then just if you scroll down some more, we get another comment here. I really love this bar. So building up some more, hype around this really high premium Wall Street silver branded bullion. Go scroll down some more. Um, just some more iteration of that bar. Dot dot dot. Love. The bar is beautiful.
Damn.
Or just got my family to order 50 Wall Street silver bars. Now the bars, to my recollection, are 10 ounces each, right?
Yeah, I don't think they had
So
1 ounce bars. They only had the
no, they
coins.
didn't. They had the 10-ounce bar, so it's times 10 by 50, 500 ounces is what he wanted to claim there. So he got his family 500 ounces.
Easy.
Whoa.
Oh yeah, man, he's a very famous rapper, man. The rap god. They have money. They can get 50 ounces, 500 ounces,
I see.
easy.
I hope everyone sees how Jim and Ivan bonded. It was over the bottles and models. I'm sure of it now.
That's a
Uh,
lot, man.
but
That's a
keeps
lot.
keep scrolling down. We just see more iterations of it. So he's using this account to basically generate hype around this bar. If you keep scrolling, it's more of the same. I just kept, there's so many examples of Ivy. I just wanted to show everyone. It's just one of these examples of here's Ivan's sock puppet account. Just ordered 5 of them on the next slide down. Uh, yep, see down there.
Yep,
Just
right
ordered
here.
5 of
Yep.
them. Yep.
Well, he and the
So
one
it just
previous it said everyone ordered them. Like, so everyone in the world ordered them. Everyone in the world.
well, I definitely, yeah. Everyone is just building up the fake hype, trying to instill people, I think, wrongly with the FOMO, the fear of missing out, by generating those, because it's controlling the comments. Not everyone comments. So if you're a lurker out there that doesn't take the time to comment in our sub, well, because you're not, there's people like Ivan, or other bots and shows that are trying to shape the community conversation away from what's really happening. So you got to do your take your time and just, if there's a community question out there, answer it because we want to make sure the real people's voices are heard. That's another aspect of the contest we're currently running. Uh, we're making sure we're verifying who the real apes are, and you're all gonna have um, flares to prove this. I mean, I know of no other community in the history of the internet that has taken a contest and turned it into a way of proving to, that we actually are real people, especially in this day and age where you never really know. There's a theory out there about the dead internet where it may just be a barren wasteland of 90% bots and computers. Is like this real fraction, 10% or maybe 5% real people and 5% feds and other governments that are coming on through their cyber command to troll us. But that's one theory that exists out there. But it's almost seems valid in my mind with these grifting people that take advantage of people's thoughts and ideas about what's really going on. So I just wanted to show this as a sort of a public uh public, way of, alerting everyone if you're unaware that the internet is just this crazy where it's filled with bots and Ivanotes. Here's a proof. You know, uh, so let's scroll down for a second because I just want to hammer home one more
Uh,
thing.
real
Go
quick,
ahead and click the
we've
link
got
though, because the link. Oh,
some
what you
questions
said?
rolling in the chat here.
Okay. Well, let me do this one more thing, and then we'll take all the questions.
Okay.
Go ahead and scroll to that link. I just want to show everyone the user ID.
Oh,
No,
I got you. Yep.
click on the Reddit link, open that up. Yeah, because I just want to show everyone the post history. Because I have all we were talking about is comments. What is this guy actually posting? Go ahead, click on posts in the upper, no, scroll up, posts.
Yep.
There we go. Um, and then we can just scroll through, and you'll basically, as soon as you start getting towards more of the bottom, you're gonna see bullion, 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 all the Wall Street silver bullion. I think you need to scroll down some more.
Oh, 100-ounce bar.
There
There
it
it
goes.
is. Yep.
Yeah.
Just
And this
send.
is this is the reason why he made this account. You keep scrolling. It's the first ever post is the Wall Street Silver
Yeah.
bullion. It's so sad to me that you come out with this awesome product. Were they actually using bots at this point too, because they had to generate all this fake hype in the comment section, or do they when they're really worried that people weren't going to buy the bars? How much investment did they have into it? I don't know. There's a lot of questions here. Um, but all I see right now, yeah, look, there's so many of them right now. That's what I would consider, not to borrow our favorite, favorite animal here, but guerrilla marketing, but more
And I
like
mean,
guinea
this is a
gorillas, like hiding in the trees.
this like two of these. Maybe that's fine, but obviously knowing that it could be Ivan for sure. It's these bars are fine. These bars are selling themselves. Look at it. Like I have one of these bars. And then
Yeah,
now I guess I gotta test it to make sure it actually is real.
I have a bar too. I got to test. So I think everyone should test. Although we'll maybe talk about this in part two. But there was a influencer out there. I hope you don't mind me dropping his name, but Spectacular, that was a community member of Wall Street Silver who used his Sigma machine and basically, they didn't test pure. They didn't test 99, 95. They tested somewhere in the range of 97, like I think he said Botanicas. Basically, what this machine was telling him that the validity of the bar was. Now we brought this to the attention of Wall Street Silver, and Jim and Ivan basically went down his throat and saying that he was doing all this maliciously. Um, you know, but he was just asking questions, and he ended up getting shut down for that. So there's a lot of questions in my mind regarding that, regarding how Jim and Ivan decided to handle that situation. That if you do have a Wall Street Silver coin or bar in your possession, if you can go to a local coin shop, have it tested, and post the results to the community, I would really appreciate that.
Yeah, that's like an easy thing.
Just
It's free. They'll. I don't think they. I think the majority of places won't charge you for doing something like that, or for asking for a test of your
Now,
whatever you
full
have.
full disclosure, their excuse, like I'll give what Jim and Ivan were saying as the excuse of why this happened, and they were saying because the buy was, really embossed, that this potentially can trick up the sensor in the Sigma. Now, I don't know how true that is. I read the manual for it. I don't think that the bar itself was that embossed. I've seen some really crazy embossings out there. Um, so it's sort of one of those gray areas. Another thing that could sway the test is temperature. We don't exactly know what the temperature of the bar was when Spectacular tested it. However, he did come out with a video that showed the whole process. You didn't do it off camera. And right before my eyes, when I watched that video, it did show not pure. Little weird. There's questions out there. I can't say which is right in that scenario. That's why I'm asking community if you do have a bar, let's see, if Jim or Ivan ever told the truth.
That's a it's a bad way to have to ask yourself that question and check everything. It's really funny.
Yeah, and also
Well, I
the other
mean,
side of the fence on this one, I saw Silver Joker with the video where it did come up here at his LCS. But yeah, let's get some more sample size. Let's get to the truth here.
yeah. So that's a call to the community. If you have one and you're able to do that, please do. Uh, Post it on Reddit. Send us a mod mail so we're sure not to even miss it. Because we're really interested to see what's going on with that. And if there's more to it, we'll do a deep dive. I will do a deep dive. Yeah, other people that are interested in stuff, I'm sure we'll do a deep dive and we'll get to the bottom of what's going on with that. Um, but yeah, as you see here, it's just a little suspicious if Ivan has to create an alt account to peddle this stuff. Um, it should sell itself, in my opinion. All right.
I mean, it
Um,
definitely did. It definitely did sell itself. Or there's plenty
all
that
right.
got sold.
Yeah.
What
So we're at the
page are we
last
on?
page here. And basically, I have an alt list here that some part of the community helped me build. Other of it, I was able to add to it myself. This is the most complete list. If you pause the video and take a look, this is the most complete list of Ivan Jim and pretty much identifying all the mods that
I'm gonna have to make it
are
bigger.
associated to what yeah, that's perfect. So all the mods that are associated with the mod list as of a month ago, on Wall Street Silver. So it's mostly Ivan. Now Lee Justo, he already separated away from that brand. He's no longer part of Wall Street Silver. He probably left when he spelt something dirty. Don't know, speculation again, but why did Lee leave? If you're out there listening, Lee, come forward, tell the community what exactly happened. You know, we're not trying to associate guilt to you because you were associated with Wall Street Silver. We're just wanting to know what happened, and your voice in this would be very unique. Um, to give us a larger or better detailed perspective of what exactly goes on behind the scenes. Who exactly are Ivan and Jim behind the scenes, and you know, what was your real reason for leaving if it was different from your Reddit post? Um,
Yeah, I think a
but
lot of
scroll
people
up.
probably left in just because. Like,
It could be just the working relationship. I mean, I've talked to other people that were involved in the beginning. We know the testament of Happy Hawaiian. He can basically say that these guys just didn't have a clue what they were doing, and Jim was basically running the show. And Ivan was sort of the lackey. So that cartoon that we had of Mr. Garrison with Jim's head imposed on his body, and then Mr. Hand is or Mr. Hat, I forget which one, but is basically Ivan the Gimp. Is the puppet for Jim at this point. And that's exactly what I think is still going on. Is Jim's behind the scene with his hand up Ivan's ass and parroting him around, telling him what to do. But let's take a look at the last four links here. Everyone knows that the internet, when you post something, if people are paying attention, it's never truly done. In this instance, because we were paying attention to Ivan's Twitter account before he deleted it, we were able to save all the things he deleted his Twitter for. And these four things we believe, or I personally believe, are the reasons why he deleted his Twitter. So the first one, and I personally do not want to read this one out because of the potential to get sound clipped. So I'm just going to leave that on the screen. No, none of us are going to read it, and it is what it is. He said that he was anti-Semitic, and you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to show your power level or do anything like this on the internet, openly and publicly. This is wrong. You can have your opinions or whatever, but you never say this without repercussions. And he felt the repercussions, and he deleted his Twitter when it was pointed out. The next couple are lesser kind of forms of bad. because that one was the bad. That was the cherry on top of bad, in terms of the sort of the world we live in currently. Um, but this one sort of tells us the mindset of this man. I believe, that this is something he still lives by today, that he sold, or I'll say it as him. Now, Ivan says, sold my soul for material wishes. So he's really just in it for the bottles and the LCD screens, the Escalades, what other things that rappers like? Just fill in the blank there. It's probably
Lambos.
accurate or close.
Gotta have
Lamborghinis, there we
Lambos.
go. Yeah. Just ridiculous ways to spend your money that, I don't know. I personally, any bit of money I have that I are not going towards bills or, uh, needs, survivalistic needs is going towards silver. If you're leading a movement on squeezing the Comex, you're not buying LCD screens, you're buying silver. And I just don't know if Ivan ever followed through with those commitments that he outwardly showed us all on Reddit. It seemingly seems not, in my opinion. But we'll go on. So you already loaded it. I'll look it up now.
Oh,
Nope, go
my
back.
bad.
I just
My
want
bad.
to. I just looked up to see it again. I really want to just say this out loud. It's one of my favorite things that he stupidly said on his Twitter. Eating Asian pussy, all I need was sweet and sour sauce.
That
Yeah,
sounds sweet and sour. That
I
definitely
mean,
that does sound sweet and sour.
so we could already see now that before you load this one up, don't push. Oh, I guess you
Oh,
push enter.
I
That's
already did.
okay. It's okay. We see the first one. The first one we saw was the anti-Semitic comment against Jews. So that's one race. Then we see him basically making a crude joke about Asians, where their vaginas smell like or taste like sweet and sour sauce. I don't know if that's the McDonald's version of the sauce, or the one he makes in his own kitchen or gets with his sticky rice, but that's what he thinks Asian pussies taste like, is a condiment. And if we move on to the next one here, just to round it all out, he says, "Never invite brown kids to your party. Thank God I am whitewashed." So let's just make this a menagerie of being a complete racist dickhead, huh? This is what you're afraid of, Ivan, that you're a complete racist dickhead? I'd be afraid. This is pretty intolerable. So on top of everything else that we have covered tonight, you're xenophobic on top of all of it. Congratulations, sir. You won the internet tonight.
Damn, he did win it all. But he's the rap god. I mean, the rap god could do whatever, man.
He is. This is just ridiculous. I want to get reactions, any questions to the community at this point. I think we'll stop here. We'll come to a part two where we dive into some other stuff that I've come across that sort of got memory hold along the way. But anything that we covered now, or if anybody has some questions about things we haven't covered yet, don't mind touching base on those. But yeah, I hope everyone is as flabbergasted as me at this point. It is quite a piece of work.
For now, while we wait to see if anyone wants to type in anything or submit anything, would like to thank everyone that's in the community so far that actually likes what we're doing and how we're approaching it. The silver squeeze is the main goal, but also getting new people into silver is very needed. And I think the way we're doing it and the way we're approaching it is going to get the most new people involved in silver going forward. And uh, big shout out to the pickaxe for looking at all the community comments and setting up that portal so people could submit stuff. Whoever did, you guys
Absolutely.
are crazy and it's amazing and you're really good at what you do. So thank you guys for helping him out, and for him having the balls to actually post this information out there. I really appreciate that from him. And also, we do also plan on doing these every Tuesday. We have the dystopia stream with the economic angst on Thursdays. That's a late night show. Um,
Super late.
it's super late. My hours are
But
weird.
European bros or Australian bros or somebody with a complete late night schedule would, just tune into that. It's a really cool time.
It is definitely nonsense, but also on that one, you can submit articles, and it could be from Zero Hedge or it could be from any time. Oh man, Eastern time, what is that? I mean, it's like,
It's 1:30
yeah.
my time since I'm on the East.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So 1:30 ish Eastern is usually when it starts. But yeah, if you guys want to go in there, you don't even have to. You could on the SDC Live Discord, you can submit articles and we will go over them. If we get a shit ton of articles submitted, then I'll throw them on the wheel and we'll spin to see which ones we go and look over because it's basically just me and Angst uh retardedly looking at it, not knowing what we're looking at, like trying to rub our brain cells together to figure out what everything actually means from those articles. So it's a fun time,
It's
I
a
think.
It's a fun old time, and it's a great time for everyone to just, if you have something that you want us to check out, I may or may not be in the background of those because it's super late and I'm usually in bed by that time. But if you submit the articles earlier ahead of time, I can take a look at them and I can let's give my thoughts to DMM if those articles actually come up.
Yeah, any
So,
kind of stuff. We go over it all. The more dystopian, the better. So it is good. Here's the link, Little Dipper. Uh, also,
and for this show, we're not going to be focusing on Wall Street Silver every time. I know I kind of promised the part two of this would be Wall Street Silver, but the reason why we're doing this is because they're not dead. They're continuing to both, seemingly scam out the sponsorships people, the advertisers, as well as the people that are still following them. They're basically grifters, and this needs to be exposed, in my opinion, to show exactly what they're doing because we tried our best to get as much attention on what was going on as possible. Pickaxe definitely, threw in there hugely by, getting his article hooked up on Zero Hedge and getting more eyes on the prize there and other influences out in the space to come to that Palisades thing to talk about it. But it seems like nothing is happening from that. We know Jim is just a horrible, horrible person. Sort of Ivan got, pushed off to the side, and I've been hearing some rumors about how we should give Ivan a second chance. It seems like it's all Jim. Jim's gone. Jim's not gone. And Ivan is just as bad from what I've hopefully shown you tonight. And if we need to keep hammering it home with another episode to show how Ivan is terrible um, for something to be done here, either by Reddit, by GoFundMe. Um, some sort of justice needs to be served, I think, uh, especially for the fact that they did not accomplish what they set out to do to squeeze, and we're not even confident of them spending the GoFundMe money appropriately, or maybe that's why there was bots to begin with because they could afford it. There's a lot of concerns there, and I hope you'll just bear with us as we go through this to make sure that, in the end, hopefully justice can be served by bringing all of this to light. But after that, we're going to have guests on that are really cool, different. Um, Maybe not silver related, maybe some silver related, just depends on what we can get a hold of. But we really want to use this space to branch out to other communities and see if we can get Star Wars lovers, for instance, to pick up some best car bars. If they just do it because they're Star Wars fans, but they end up with silver anyway, that's winning. And that's sort of the direction that we're trying to go.
Yeah, I'm constantly shamelessly shilling the Silver Degen Club, and that's kind of my department. I mostly deal with shilling and video creation, so there's plenty of communities out there that don't know what the fuck silver is, and I'm gonna teach them what it is and introduce you to their communities and the communities to our community, and we're gonna grow organically that way. And the people that like what we have to say, or just like the silly memes that we're making all the time, or the ridiculous videos, they will stay, and it will
Hmm.
help grow very organically. I don't know why I have to keep stressing that, because it's there's just so much shenanigans going on, tomfoolery going on in this space. So um
We got to
one
bring these people to light. That's all there is to it. And people know about it, then they know are more wise to make their decisions.
Now, I want to highlight some stuff if you guys don't know. Shield sponsors, this is a placeholder. We do not have any sponsors right now. Working on that. Uh, Live contests. This is probably the most important one you guys should be looking at all the time, because these get updated, but Pizza Slut's post isn't going to be up here forever. So if you guys want to know what contests we currently have running, then they're right here. They're right here. So you guys will be able to see that. The updates,
Hmm.
we just have small updates here. So the weekly update vid is kind of, I think we're just gonna roll that into this Tuesday show, because it's already a Tuesday show and we can answer questions on the fly. So that's probably easier. And then just the normal live
I agree.
shows that we got here. So uh, that's Angst right there, and this is the Tuesday show. So I'll update this one to have this link in there, and of course the donation hole. Ooh. But yeah, that's kind of it, guys. We don't have anything else really. We have a lot of stuff on the back end that we're working on. We're all working various hours from.
Should we have Ivan play us out
We could have Ivan
with
play
one of
us
his
out.
songs?
Do we want to get to some of these questions?
Yes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Questions first, though.
What do you got?
Let's see. I'll go in backwards order here. JW said, "Don't forget to plug the SDC contest, which you got into a bit. It's the Not a Bot contest going
Right.
on this
So
subreddit."
let's touch on that real quick because prior to starting this live stream, we were talking about how you can get double entries. Now, it may not be for everyone out there, but if you follow Resonate and show some skin, maybe use a coin to cover up your nipple, and that's a way that you can go out and get double entries if you post again with some skin. So we'll accept that, but only 2 entries. That's it.
Silver waifu approved. Silver manfu approved too. If you guys want to do that as well, definitely do it.
Uh, We're all for boobs and moots. Boobs and moots. If you have a moob, post it. If you have a boob, even better, post it.
JW, you can just do it, man. Just do it. Why not? Get in that thong.
You only
And
live once.
of course, just for the basic one entry, all you need is a handwritten note with your username and dated, in case anyone isn't aware.
Yes. So I did catch a few people today that were using Photoshop. I will catch you. If it looks weird, I will run it through a photo forensic software and I will find you and your entry will not count. So just to not waste my time and not waste your time, just do it right.
And remember,
Yeah, go
We're
guys,
going to make
ahead.
sure that everyone is not a bot. And bots can use Photoshop.
and this right here, guys, we still have the meme contest is not over yet. You got about 7, 8 more days left if you want to throw your hat in the ring for this. We got something coming in from Jake from Bison Bullion. We're not sure yet. Something from Kenzie of Wise Wolf Gold. She's going to donate something. The Silver Lynx is definitely donating a custom doubloon. So he's giving a doubloon. And of course, Short Stacker, 1969. Dropping down one of Jake's boob bars, 8 ounces, 8.0085 ounces. So that's a really big prize. So I guess Jake, you better fucking step up to the plate, donate one of those too and
He,
shit. Can't have a community member outshining you on that. So very simple,
oh, he
guys.
totally is outshining. Short stacker, I will just say, he also hit us up for pizza sludge contest, and he wanted to donate some shiny hat too. So we'll maybe be adding more prizes to that. We're not sure yet, but just just give a good shout out to Short Stacker there because he's a really dedicated member of this community.
He's a VIP donator, 100%. So for people like that, we don't remember, guys. We've only been active now for like a month, okay? So there's a lot of stuff we're trying to figure out and set up. Every day, we're working on new things to set up and make sure everything's flowing nicely. And I mean, community members like
Right.
that,
This is
we're gonna hook them up with something. Like if it's flares, if it's uh Discord access and stuff. Like we're gonna help you guys out. Like because you're helping us out and you're helping your fellow community members out.
something. I mean, if you have an idea on that of what we can offer, throw it out through our mod mail, bring it up as a question or a comment. We want to hear it. We're looking for ideas of how we can add value to this community. We're not Jim and Ivan. We're not trying to grift from the community. We're trying to add value to it as well as make sure that we stay on path of Silver Squeeze. That includes. I will not going to be. I'm pretty sure we said in the background, and I'll just say it out loud to everyone to hear. We're not going to shill miners. We're not going to tell you to put money in stocks or fake uh, digital bullion. Physical silver is how you squeeze.
There's only a few mining companies that I would consider, and it's
I think we
still
talked about First Majestic, but that's like
first.
so tiny because it's only because they deal with the community and sell bullion directly, but it's still one of those gray area ones.
It's hard
Really
because
depends on how the community feels.
it really depends on how the community feels about it. Because like even mentioning miners, everyone that's already in this community is gonna be pissed like instantly.
I-
But
Instantly.
if there is, I'm just curious because I haven't reached out to any like miners and shit to see what
One of them reached out to you though, didn't they?
sometimes they reach out to me every once in a while and stuff, but it's usually just small banter here and there. But if they were if they were actually dedicated to the message of the Silver Squeeze and just wanted to support the community as a whole in some way, then it would depend on
We
what
can
they're asking
consider
for.
that.
It depends on what they're
Yeah.
asking for and what if it conflicts with our views of how this subreddit should be run, like stuff like that. Like we're not gonna edit. We're not gonna fucking take away the degen aspect of this. I mean, there's already been plenty of people complaining that it's uh it's too degenerate,
The
too
only thing I
lewd.
can the only thing I can consider like a miner actually being able to offer us of any benefit is maybe one of their actual core samples where it actually has silver in it. Otherwise, they're just promises.
Yeah, yeah, it's hard. It's hard to figure out. But I mean, with stuff like that, if I mean that hasn't even we don't even have any like things to go off of with that. So as time goes on and if sponsors come in and they want to help support us in keeping this community afloat, then we'll do a Schiller's
Or if
corner and bring the community on to question them live, interrogate them live.
Well, another idea here is if they're still attached to Wall Street Silver and they need a washing of their soul, maybe they should just sponsor us out of a good faith thing, in order to maybe appear better in the eyes of apes because their image already being miners is not that great. But a miner that then paid Wall Street Silver XYZ amount of money in order to take advantage of the ape community, that even looks worse on the optics. Maybe they would want to maybe want to laundry that through us. And that's something we can offer up to the community.
I mean, the amount of work going into this project right now is absurd. The amount of work
That
that me and IA do and AG and the other mods, like it's an insane amount of effort being put in, and it's for me and IA, it's over 12 hours a day for sure, and for
it's a
AG,
labor of love.
it definitely is. It definitely is. So anything that can help me from having to stop sucking dicks under the bridge for money and just do it for free out of pleasure would be great.
uh, I haven't sucked any dick yet, so you're definitely more desperate than me, maybe there.
I'll show you. I'll tell you the bridges I'm at. Don't worry. I'll tell you where you can meet me. It's all
Oh
good.
my,
But
I'll
all
get
right,
tickled by
guys.
that beard of yours.
It'll tickle. It'll tickle. But
Uh,
that's it, guys. Uh, thank you for showing
do we
up.
have any more questions?
We do have
Just to make sure.
a couple more if we just want to do some, light quick answers.
Okay, well, let's just do that. I don't want to leave anyone in the community hanging.
When you were talking about the contest, Yodi asked what photo forensic software.
There is a tool out there called Photo Forensic. It starts with FOTO, photo, and then forensic spelled, I believe, the correct way. .com, probably just Google that. And it's basically you upload a picture and, well, actually, let's go through an example if you don't mind, DMM. I'll send you both pics of one of the posts that came in earlier.
Let's see.
Um,
I'm running short on time
we'll do
here.
that.
I'm running really short on time here. Getting the
I understand. I
evil
will do it
eye.
really quickly. Oh
Go
no,
ahead.
the waifu. Just say that this is good. This is for public, well-being that we do this. Um, and then I'll send you the last picture. So this is the one from the Kinesis guy that
Here
sent
we
in
go.
earlier.
Okay.
And I just think this is the perfect example. I don't want to throw an actual community member under the bus, but I will throw a show under the bus any day of the week. So if you see here, this is the original photo. There was some issues, with the white there. That's just artifacting from somebody doing a very poor Photoshop. You could, the very blanket example that you can actually see with your own naked eye. But if you go back to the other picture, the MM,
Yep, right here.
this is what that software or website will output for you. And if it has all that noise there that's seen, everything that sort of has that fuzziness to it, and all the artifacting around it, that means that it was photoshopped. Um, so like all the coins, the gun, the targets even underneath, were all placed in that photograph through Photoshop or another editing tool. The way that it would look like if it wasn't the case, I don't have a side-by-side example just to throw out really quickly, but give you the one that I have on hand. If you want to just show everybody that one I can guarantee is legit because it's a continuous, all the pretty much the pixels and are makes sense. There's nothing kind of blatantly coming out to kind of pop its head out, um, and suggest to me at least, if you could, yeah, look, this is all this white stuff and then nothing. It's all sort of consistent. And that's a way in which you can sort of tell. I mean, there's people that spend lifetimes in this career looking at these photographs. This is just a quick tool for a quick glance. And if it's really blatant, like I found with the Kinesis one, I'll just reject. because I mean, if you're going to lie about that, then your purpose in the sub is probably not a good one, and you shouldn't be taking the community's rewards, in my opinion.
Yeah,
But
Yodi,
yeah,
it is interesting. It is interesting. But all right,
so any
guys.
other questions?
Uh,
Are we
Right.
good?
I think that covers that. There's just two more I think we should hit, just real quick and concise. Little Dipper asks, what kind of conspiracies did Ivan push?
Agenda 2030, and that kind of mass eradication thing, to put it blatantly. There are probably WEF things, potentially anti-Semitic ones. I can't really get into those, but not the greatest of conspiracies, we'll say.
standard zero
Okay.
hedge stuff, probably.
Maybe more fortune, like will be more
Okay.
apt.
I think the tweets speak to his character on that one.
Yeah.
And
And we had one more question.
finally, a perfect place to wrap up tonight's show. Yodi wants to know, are they going to stop WSS or are they going to just keep going? And what can actually stop them?
Uh, well, I think they're ban evading on Reddit. I think you Boat Surfer 600 is is Ivan's current main mod account, as well as significant print. We should go back in this video and look at the alt list. Go ahead and report every single one of his alts to Reddit. Let them know that they're ban evading. And since Rocket Moon Go is no longer a moderator of Reddit, and he might have another one. I think Shiny Silver 8 might be Jim's account, so that might be one to also report in there. But I don't think he had any accounts banned. So in that regard, Ivan can be tacked with ban evading and maybe reporting on the GoFundMe. Um, Show him this video. Would be just submit a report with this link, and I think what we covered tonight would be enough for GoFundMe to sink their teeth into it. I would say those are two directions, opportunities for people to, if they feel the need to do something about this and alert authorities. That would be my suggestion.
All right, AG, do your sign off. Do your sign off.
Well, everyone, thanks for joining us. We will work on shilling it ahead of time a little bit better in the future and our pacing. But yeah, thanks for being here for our inaugural show.
And
Yeah,
IA.
so this is definitely a pilot. We didn't announce it ahead of time in case we completely effed up everything and nothing worked. Over time, we're going to be upgrading and improving the quality of the show. I threw together a quick, I would say quick, it took me all weekend, but a relatively quick VTuber from my avatar. And I think this is just going to be the direction that other guests that we have on, we're going to have on with avatars of different mods. And I hope everyone enjoys this sort of production style. If you have concerns, if you have critiques about it, I want to hear about it. This is really about adding a show that the community likes and enjoys. So if you're not enjoying what we're doing, tell us. We want to know. We want to produce content that you want to watch. And if you have topics that you want us to cover, if you have guests that you really want us to interview, tell us. We have the Discord. I think that was going to be probably the best way of letting us know. You can submit articles for DMM show with Schizoid Yanks on Thursdays, and there's other channels that you can contact the mods in or just talk to us generally. Um, that's a real-time communication tool that we prefer other than other platforms. So yeah, just try and get us on there or get us during these live chats. Ask questions, even if it's something about a topic that's not necessarily about what we're talking about, just ask it. Because if this is your way of reaching out to us, this is your way of reaching out to us. And we want to hear from you. This is your community. We're just trying the best to lead it. And I hope everyone enjoyed the show tonight.
And yeah, Little Dipper, I'm always vaping. Don't worry about it. Lil B give it, or Ivan could be the rap god. I'm the vape god. I'm always fucking doing it. Can't stop. But yeah, thank you everyone. Thank you guys for spending the time with me right now too to go over the stuff that you guys wanted to highlight about Wall Street Silver and Ivan and all this crazy bullshit that just keeps fucking happening, doesn't fucking end ever. It's crazy. But thank you
Well,
everyone for
at least
jumping on
they're more
in.
prepared. They're gonna now be able to use this knowledge and maybe go out in Wall Street Silver and call Ivan out on this crap. That can go a long way too.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Thank you to the the other mods that weren't able to show up right now because they have normal lives, and
Yeah,
thank you
true
to
that.
thank you to all the future potential sponsors. You gotta jump in there, guys, and to the pickaxe and to all our other allies in the silver industry. Thank you, and yeah, that's it, guys. See ya, fucks later.
Yep. Take care, everyone.